Check. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are then for round 24 of 24 VRS season finale at Yas Marina. And it is Emil Nasser who takes the first provisional pole position with a 32.3, although most of them are just completing their outlaps. I'm tempted to test a qualifying lap in this empty sim over here. But actually for finale, I think all the drivers need to stay focused. As Emil Nasser sets a 1:24.3 then on his next attempt. Abdul Hadi 24.5, 1/10 between them, the Ferrari and the Red Bull at the top. Leonard Faddy goes up into P3. And Lucas, that was in the Williams, just sliding around into one of the barriers there. Here's Ahmed Sabri, easily spottable in the Alpine. I like that some people this season picked a different car from your normal top three and stuck with it. Ahmed always in the Alpine, Lucas always in the Williams, Josh Lundell, who's not here today, always in the Racing Bull. But many Ferraris, a couple of McLarens and a couple of Red Bulls. Surprisingly no Mercedes. Not many Mercedes drivers this season. Maybe the Lewis Hamilton effect. And there goes Emil Nasser, another fastest lap, 24.0. 4/10 ahead of Abdul now, who will be coming across the line shortly. Doesn't improve this time. Leonard Faddy at 24.1. It's 1/10 between the two Ferrari drivers. Good friends throughout the season, and now a 10th separates them for the final pole position of the 2025 VRS season. Andre Fish in fourth. Mameri, who joined us for the first time last time out in Qatar and impressed everybody, jumping in and being straight on the pace, is up in P5 also. And you can expect him to find more time throughout this session, as I do believe last time he had a bit of practice, so the more time he gets in the sim, the more his lap time will drop. Luca enters straight in with a valid lap into P6, with Lorenzo not far behind. Lucas yet to do a valid lap on the pace. Amir getting overtaken around the outside of the hotel section. But Ahmed, Amir and Artem Dodonko yet to set a valid lap. Nine minutes remaining of the final qualifying session. And perhaps Arthur regretting not having a practice. So plenty of prizes are offered today. A Red Bull Garage Tour on the Thursday of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. 3 coaching sessions, including video and telemetry in sim on cars and tracks of your choice. A VRS full season pass for 2026 for those over the age of 17 and with a driving license for 2 years or more. There's 2 real car drives on offer from Yas Marina. The Aston GT4 drive and the Caterham drive. And then of course, rounding off the rest of the prizes, we have a 12 race, a half season entry, a 6 race, a quarter season entry, also passenger experiences at Yas Marina, radical passenger experience, and the drift passenger experience in the Chevrolet Drift Taxi. The radical, there might be a small chance that I get to drive you around, but the Drift Taxi is not me, I can tell you that much. I don't do the drifting. There's also a 1 hour race session for a group of 4, so you can bring your mates along and race any car or track you want. Prizes are a fuller package. As I turn around and see that Leonard Faddy is now a tiny bit closer to Emil Nasser, 0.08 between them. Who is going to improve first? Lucas has also closed the gap. He's got a valid lap now in the Williams. Up into P3, Abdul Hadi P4. Mameri has found pace, still in P5 though, but ahead of Andre Fish. Luca, Artis done a valid lap in P8. 6 minutes remaining. And still Amir yet to set a valid lap. Gerard is not in the car, in the Red Bull. I am super tempted to jump in that car just to see what's possible. But I don't want to affect anyone else's lives. It's a 23.8 for Lucas then in the Williams, who goes up to the top of the times by nearly 2/10 of a second. The first person then to drop into the 23s. As we now wait and see what the others can do. Just coming through the hotel section now is Emil Nasser, who is currently up on his time by a tiny bit. Can he keep it together through the hotel section? He's lost a bit of time there through 13 and 14. And now it looks like he's waiting for a bit of space so that he can set another lap. He's got 5 minutes left, needs to be careful here. He has got the pace to get into the 23s. We've seen it in practice. We're very, very close. Top 4 then so far. And Artur Dodonka joins them then. 0.8 off, goes up into P5. Starting to find a rhythm in qualifying. So again, Emil Nasser down the back straight into the hairpin. Gets it turned in, accelerates out. Nicely done through there, so he's definitely up on his time now, but he's got a car in front of him on this good lap, and I think he's going to be a little bit faster than the car ahead. Currently in P12 as he enters turn 9, gets it turned into the apex somehow, and now he's even more up, so maybe he needs to remove that committed even when there's no cars there. If we can just get through the hotel section now. Emil Nasser, couple attempts up on his previous best. comes into the left, doesn't invalidate, he's got 2 corners to go. Keep an eye on the Ferrari in second place. Round the final turn, on the brakes, gets it turned in, hits the apex nicely. This is good from Emil Nasser. Will it play him on top of the times? It does, a 23.6, 2 tenths then. Puts the Ferrari up on pole position currently. 2 tenths ahead of the Williams and 5 tenths nearly ahead of Leonard Faddy in the other Ferrari. And now it changes again. So Leonard had it. He was behind me so I couldn't see, but he is up in the Ferrari. Leonard Faddy, a championship, I was going to say leader, winner, as I think he's out of reach today. Does it, a 23.4. That's just a 10th and a half ahead of Emil Nasser. Abdul Hadi and Altidonka now 1 second away from the top time, as we see 2 McLarens going for it here and crashing. Altidonka having an overtake and Amir in the hairpin there. Left. Most people might be on their final laps as we enter below the 125 mark. Anyone crossing the line from now will likely be on their last run. So Emil Nasser will be the first to start their last lap. He's just going around turn 9 at the moment. But Altidonka looks like he's on a good lap. He's going down the back straight at the moment. He needs this to jump up from P5. Goes deep at the hairpin, so he's too aggressive on the brakes at the moment. Braking as late as he dares. Needs to brake a little bit earlier for turn 6. Still slightly up in his time. Does well through turn 9, but loses a little bit of advantage that he had. A 23.7 for Emil Nasser. So now consistently in the 23s. Andre Fisch improves, goes 24.2. Abdul Hadi 24.3. 1/10 between them. Remember, these guys are all in a championship fight in that mid-pack. In fact, let me see if I can find the standings on my phone just to remind me of how close it is. So Leonard Faddy has 829 points, as we mentioned last time out. The championship leader and victor, as Esser Al-Hamadi with 610 is too far behind to close the gap. Esser Al-Hamadi not here, and only 39 points ahead of Artur Dodonka, who's currently in P6. So Artur Dodonka is looking to try and take P2 tonight. But don't forget, Artur has also done more than 12 races, which means he will only gain the points that he can beat his previous best races on. Emil Nasser, 497 points, versus Andre Fisch, 494 points. 3 points between your second and fourth drivers. Lucas slides around the final section on his final attempt there in the lap. And then you've got Abdul Hadi and Lucas separated by 1 point. Nick, who is not here today, in P8. P9, P10, P11 and 12 will probably all remain as they are. So in terms of championship fight, we are very much focused on Arthur Dodonka trying to get P2, Emil Nasser and Andre Fisch fighting for P4 and 5, and Abdul Hadi and Lucas fighting for P6 and 7. But it's Leonard Faddy on pole with Emil Nasser in second place. We'll have a short break before heading through to the final race of the season. Okay, we're ready. Final race of the season. Let's get you in your sims. Who's this one playing by themselves? Andre Fish, Abdul. Okay, everyone is now fine, so we'll be heading to the start of the race. Okay, here we go. They are on the grid, ready for the start of the race. Hopefully no one presses that paddle. Lights will be on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights. And out and away they go. So the race begins. The final race is underway as they go down towards turn 1, the two Ferraris. Into the left-hander, Williams of Lucas holding on to third by the looks of it, and Leonard Faddy comes flying through turn 3 alone up the road as they go down towards turn 5. Emil Nasser defends, I think, into the hairpin early as the Williams goes down the inside and goes up into P2 of Lucas Leandro, and it looks like the Red Bull is coming through as well as the McLaren spinning round to the back. Andre Fisch is involved in an incident at the back, and look at this, Abdul Hadi round to the outside of turn 6, but watch the Ferrari on the inside. Emil Nasser, is he going to try and dive down the inside and make it 3 wide? Oh, Abdul Hadi gets across the track. Williams goes wide of Lucas, and now Emil Nasser will be able to carry on. Abdul's going to have to give those positions back for sure as they go down the back straight. Emil Nasser down the inside into turn 9, gets back up into P3, and now down towards 11 and 12 into the right-hander of turn 12. And there's Mameri going up the inside of the Alpine of Ahmed Sabri up into P6. So this is one of those moments where it's up to the driver to hand back the positions. If Abdul doesn't give the positions back, then he risks gaining a penalty later on in the race, which could affect his positions. Through the main grandstand they go then, down towards turn 2. Luca in the Red Bull up into P5 had a great start. Williams only half a second back from Emil Nasser, so their fight will now continue. Down towards turn 5. Is he going to make another dive for it? Lucas late on the brakes, there's contact, and they're both round. Down the back straight, and watch the Red Bull Luca go through. He's going to gain both positions. And Luca in the Red Bull now up into P3. Down the back straight they go. Luca on the inside. Emil side by side with him into turn 6. Oh, Emil Nasser down the inside, makes contact. I think he's going to get a good exit. Emil Nasser back up into P3. But the Red Bull will still be there as they go down towards turn 9. So these guys really going for it at the start of this race. Luca down the inside, and look at the Ferrari round the outside. Makes it. Emil Nasser round the outside, keeps the position, and now watch Lucas inside 10, inside 11. Gets on the brakes for turn 12. All clean up there. Arthur Tadonka and Mameri join this fight now in P6 and 7. And now Lucas and Emil will continue their fight as Leonard Faddy sets the fastest lap. Oh, Arta Dodonka down the inside and contact from Ameri there into the back of Luca. Down into P7. It was a great move from Arta. A little risky from Ameri there as they made contact, but keep an eye on Lucas and Emil. The fight is not over yet. Lucas will have DRS. Is he going to make another lunge in towards turn 6? These two fighting for the championship. But Abdul Hadi, a controversial double overtake off the circuit. 2 cars, 2 positions gained across turn 6 and 7 as Lucas and Emil continue to fight. Now Emil up into, holds on to P3. Now Arta Dodonka can smell another position. He's within 0.3 of a second of the Williams driver. In towards turn 12, late on the brakes for Dodonka. No contact through there. Into the turn 13-14 hotel section. And now Lucas is going to have to watch his rearview mirror as well as they enter the DRS zone. Nearly late on the brakes is Mameri, and he's going to get DRS now. Down the back straight, Ahmed gets 5 seconds for cutting. That'll be 4 penalties. Arta Dodonka defends the inside of 6 in the McLaren. The Ferrari looks to the outside. Mameri up into P5 briefly, but Arta Dodonka makes contact and spins on the blue stuff as he tried to forcefully hold the Ferrari off the circuit. Luca Veal now with an opportunity. And Andre Fisch also rejoining the fight after his earlier spin in lap 1. Now look, Andre Fisch down the inside of Luca into turn 5, but Luca might get the DRS on the exit as the Alpine is facing the wrong way in the hotel section. They are going to catch up to their first lap to vehicles shortly as Leo goes in towards turn 9. And now look at these two, still going at it. Emil Nasser, Lucas Leandro, we've seen them together on circuit so many times in this second half of the season. Leandro with DRS open, backs out of it into turn 9. So maybe they're going to start now fighting less to try and catch and close the gap to Abdul Hadi. They need to try and keep it within 10 seconds to make any sort of gain of the penalty. But if it drops below that, then Abdul Hadi will of course hold on to that P2, but he's actually not far from Leonard Faddy either. Keeps fluctuating between 2 and 3 seconds. Lucas playing the patient game. He waited through turn 5. We'll get the DRS down towards 6, but they're catching up to Amir in the McLaren. down towards the hairpin. It could get a little bit messy as Emil goes late on the brakes around the outside and Lucas down the inside, sandwiched the McLaren, and it looks like he managed to hold on. So Emil Nasser, looking like he made the wrong decision, actually ended up coming out back in P3 and extending the gap again, and now Arthur Dodonko is side by side with the lapped McLaren of Amir. Next up on the blue flag list, as Lucas goes very wide. In the background there's contact with Andre Fisch, and one of the McLarens is it the back marker of Amir. I think it might be, as it looks like Arthur, actually I can't see, he's behind me. I think Arthur is still facing the right way. It's a very close four-way fight here. The final step on the podium for the Yas Marina finale. As Abdul Hadi is looking at closing in on Leonard Faddy. 3.4 seconds the gap, but it keeps fluctuating. Keep an eye on the lap times as they come round, but it looks like Lucas is closing in on Emil Nasser again. 4/10 the gap. He's got Mameri for company as well, with DRS open behind, and Arthur Dodonko not far back either. A group of drivers who are not shy to overtake as we enter the halfway stage. It might not be the highest result for Emil Nasser, but if he can hold on to this P3 spot, it will without a doubt be his best drive of the season as he defends from start to finish from an attacking Williams and Ferrari down towards the final turn. Takes a wider line, a safe line actually, to avoid contact. They both get an even exit. Across the line they go, in towards turn 1. We're on lap 8 now. And they are pretty even. Into turn 3 and 4. Down towards 5. This is where Max Verstappen overtook Lewis Hamilton. Lucas going to look down the inside. Emil Nasser struggling with understeer mid-corner, but he gets the good exit. But keep an eye on the Williams with DRS. Down the back straight they go. Down towards T6. Emil commits to the inside. He goes to on the defensive. He's going to have to do it on the brakes. Lucas goes up into P3. In towards turn 6. Is Emil Nasser going to get a better exit through here? He's got the tidier line. Gets the better exit. Goes to the outside. He's now committed to the right-hand side of Lucas Leandro, and he'll have DRS open. He's coming across the front wing. He goes back up into P3. In towards turn 9 with the DRS. Gets it turned in and continues on his way in the podium spot. All the meanwhile, Mameri sits in P5 watching this titan battle for P3. Into the hotel section. Mameri will be watching and waiting for anything to happen between these two and gain 2 positions for a potential podium here. And Arthur Dodonko, not far back, will be waiting for the same thing to happen. As we go on to lap 9 of 14, just a few laps remaining of this final race of the season. And a hard-fought race it currently has been. Now, next up on the back marker list will be Ahmed Sabri in the Alpine, who is currently going into turn 5, just down the road. We can see him in the distance. Into this left-hander is the next lapped vehicle. Looks down the inside. Lucas late on the brakes, but Emil sees it coming, and he's going to get a better exit, but I think the Williams will have DRS here. We'll keep an eye around about now, and now the Williams will start to pull away. So he did get DRS after he pulled the overtake, and now Emil Nasser is under pressure from Mameri, who also has the DRS open in towards turn 6. Gets a good line again. This is going to be risky. Gets it turned in, slides through 6, loses the run, but should have DRS to maybe close that gap a little bit more. And watch Mameri here, round the outside, 2 Ferraris, side by side into 9, both rear wings open. And look at Arthur Dodonko, he's come out of nowhere, up into P4 in the McLaren, passes both of the Ferraris from fighting each other, and now Lucas has a little bit of breathing space just up the road as he enters the hotel section. So Lucas 12 seconds back from Abdul Hadi, but Emil Nasser held on for an astonishing 10 laps after being attacked nearly every lap. Oh, the Alpine off the circuit comes back on and there's contact. Emil Massel, I think it was with the Ferrari, not the Alpine. So Mary and Emil have made contact and now he's round down the order into P7. I think Luca has also jumped up into P6. Mary survives. Arta Dodonka out of nowhere into P4. Now look at Lucas. And this is where every position matters. So in the next 4 laps, Emil will need to stay ahead of Andrew Fish, which he currently is. But also maybe needs to gain 1 or 2 positions to try and stay ahead of Abdul Hadi. Don't forget they've also all got 12 races under their belt. I think Abdul Hadi and Emil have both done more than 12 races. So they only gain their lowest scoring rounds. So Arta Dodonka has finally found some pace then in this late phase of the race. How many warnings has he got? He was questioning the penalty system. He's on 3 out of 3. So he's got 1 more for a 5-second penalty. Actually, 5 seconds for track limits as Arta Dodonka tries closing in on Lucas. Only 1 warning for Abdul Hadi, 1 warning for Leonard Faddy. Only 2 for Emil, and I think one of them was from collision, so one of them doesn't count. Mary gets a 5-second then for cutting. Track limits for Mary, who is currently in P5. That'll be added to the time at the end. He's currently fluctuating on that 5-second barrier, so he might be able to stay in P5. Here's Abdul Hadi then, still in P2 and still not that far back from Leonard Faddy. 4 or 5 seconds at the moment. And looking, even if he gets 10 seconds for the earlier incident, looking like he'll secure P2 in the race, as we see Lucas still under pressure from the McLaren of Arta Dodonka. Opens up the rear wing. Down towards turn 9, throws it down the inside, and that was as aggressive as you like. He gets it turned in, but it looks like Lucas got the switchback on the exit and manages to get back up into P3. Down the inside, the McLaren tries to squeeze Lucas off. Hard racing. Lucas needs to stay focused to try and get that back. If he can stay within DRS range, it should be easy on the back straight. Arta Dodonka giving no quarter by the looks of it on his overtakes. And now look, Lucas is already going for it back, goes down turn 4 in towards turn 5. So is Arta Dodonka playing a DRS game here? I think he gave that position back. It's an unusual overtaking spot unless he really messed up. Yeah, it's okay. so confirming that we're getting back for DRS. Down towards turn 6. Comes down the inside. And now Lucas will have DRS if he can get the exit through this corner. Down the back straight. The rear wing of the Williams will open. Artizarunka up into P3, but the Williams closing in. You saw how late the McLaren was on the brakes into turn 9 before. Can Lucas Leandro get another podium on his debut season in the VRS on the final round? There's only half a second in it. The DRS game will only work for so long. And who will be the first to make a mistake? Remember, Dodonka is on his final chance for track limits. Well, I think Lucas is not on his final chance. So 6 tenths, 7 tenths between them. And look at Leonard Faddy now passing one of the McLarens. This will be Amir. Down into turn 6. Look at Lucas then, in the slipstream, DRS open, down towards turn 6. Who can brake later? The Williams closes in on entry, needs to focus on the exit here, gets a wide line, the McLaren parks it on the apex. It's on lap 14 of 14, this is the final lap of the race, and the Williams will have the rear wing open, down towards turn 9, this will be the final attempt, goes to the inside, commits to the inside, gets up to P3, Lucas Leandro on his final attempt, and now he needs to defend turn 12, into the right-hander he goes, the McLaren throws it down the inside, goes off the circuit, and that, if he gains the position, will not stick as the Williams goes round the outside as contact's made, but it's not the Williams' fault, so Lucas will go around the final 2 turns and finish in a podium position with Arthur Dodonka coming home in P4 after some aggressive racing there. And then Mameri will come round after Amir gets another 5-second penalty. Crosses the line, Luca Bull, P6. And Leonard Faddy doing donuts in celebration. Leo Faddy, you are 2025 VRS UAE champion. Can you tell us how you're feeling?
Amazing, honestly amazing.
Have you been keeping count of your wins this season?
Yes.
And can you tell me how many it is?
With Abu Dhabi, 15 out of 24.
15 out of 24 wins for Leonard Faddy, and that will be the most successful season so far, 2 seasons in. I think the most wins last season was 9, so beating the previous record by 6 wins. Congratulations to that man. Right, I will go to the steward's room to watch back some fighting, and then we'll come back down to arrange the prizes and the trophies. Everybody settle in. I'll be as quick as I can in the stewards room, and then we'll be out for the podium and the prize ceremony.
you